Welcome to Tell All Tuesday. Today's episode is called As I Began to Love Myself. When Valencia came along in September 2016, a new level of me was born, and all the motherhood skills and knowledge I'd gathered over the previous 22 months began again. The routine, the organisational skills, etc. All of that required my next level attention. Like a slate wiped clean, I had to rebuild. I would often compare Valencia to Aria and how different they were, forgetting so innocently that they weren't the same child at all. Evident, I know, right? However, difficult not to when you're in the moments and only basing your current experience off your first. Valencia had her own journey, which I'll share another day, but I just remember this aha moment when I realised there must be other mums out there just like me who are feeling isolated, being stuck in their pajamas all day, wondering how they're going to get out to get the next lot of groceries. Mums who were yearning and wanting to connect with other mums about the real stuff that was happening in their world and not put on their face that they were loving every second of what was happening when sometimes all they wanted to do was burst out into tears. Mums who needed that positive light and energy to help boost their love tank to get through the day or the bad hour they were having. That voice of reason, not to whinge, rather to normalise all that was happening in our worlds. An environment where you could cry, laugh, vent, and then rise from the positive energy to get out of your funk. You know exactly the environment and vibe I'm talking about. This is when and why the Feel Good Mama project was born. When I realised that there in fact were real mums out there going through the same struggles that wanted to look and feel better without the pressure and just the love and support from others going through the same thing. Daily, we would listen to various mindset clips, perform different online exercise routines, and share our Herbalife nutrition tips throughout the day to encourage each other to stay on track. The reason I share this with you is to highlight the impact that a small decision to just try something new has had on my life in particular, which could also be the same for you, but also that we are never alone and what may resonate with you will most definitely resonate with other mothers too. One mindset clip in particular that stands out to me that was included in one of our online mindset and health challenges with a group of mums that I listened to again the other day as though I was listening to it again for the very first time was a random YouTube clip called As I Began to Love Myself. As you know, I had been working on this facet for over 22 months prior to Valencia's birth, but I truly think that this is a never-ending pursuit to strive for all that you internally want, desire, and truly deserve. To me, in my opinion, self-love is truly, truly deep down knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, the easier it is to listen and hear your intuition that speaks to you. You then typically begin to act or perform based on your truth. And when you are in this state, actually being in line with that truth, you are loving you. As I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering were warning signs that I was living against my truth. Insert your own ending here. As I began to love myself, ... Here is what I inserted. As I began to love myself, I found I started to lead a life of joy and meaning, and as a result, I radiated nothing but pure love. Today, I call that who I always was and am this very day. Enjoy the mindset clip audio that so resonated with me.
As I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today I know this is authenticity. As I began to love myself, I understood how much it can offend somebody as I tried to force my desires on this person, even though I knew the time was not right. And the person was not ready for it. And even though this person was me, today I call it respect. As I began to love myself, I stopped craving for a different life. And I could see that everything that surrounded me was inviting me to grow. Today I call it maturity. As I began to love myself, I understood that at any circumstance, I am in the right place, at the right time, and everything happens at the exactly right moment. So I could be calm. Today I call it self-confidence. As I began to love myself, I quit stealing my own time and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Today I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do and that make my heart cheer. And I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm. Today I call it simplicity. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health. Food, people, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first I called this attitude a healthy egoism. Today I know it is love of oneself. As I began to love myself, I quit trying to always be right. And ever since I was wrong less of the time, today I discovered that is modesty. As I began to love myself, I refused to go on living in the past and worry about the future. Now I only live for the moment, where everything is happening. Today I live each day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I began to love myself, I recognized that my mind can disturb me, and it can make me sick. But as I connected it to my heart, my mind became a valuable ally. Today I call this connection wisdom of the heart. We no longer need to fear arguments, confrontations, or any kind of problems with ourselves or others. Even stars collide, and out of their crashing, new worlds are born. Today I know that is life.